So I'd like to welcome to the stage Marlaena Mann, who is Executive Director of Communications. Sorry, I've lost my place in here, so I'm like, Communications, Information, Technology, and Data Governance. So welcome, Marlaena, and I think you've invited people from your team to come and join you. So come on up and let's hear your report. So everybody, give a warm welcome to Marlaena Mann. So if you're looking for some time support in the back, they'll give you some notices about when your time is almost up.
They're voting for me.
They're voting, they're bidding on you.
Can you hear me? I feel like my mic isn't on. There we go. There we are. All right. Denise Sekuze Skyze, I would just like to acknowledge all of our hereditary chiefs that are either with us today in the room or are watching. Good afternoon. I'd also like to acknowledge the traditional territory of the Lheidli T'enneh, and I feel very blessed that we're able to be here and do this important business today. I am Marlaena Mann, as Julie said. I've worked for Carrier Sekani for quite a while, I think for around 15 years now. And I oversee the communications team as well as the information technology team, the Nowh Guna training, and I also act as the contact for privacy. So I'm going to ask my team, my directors, to introduce themselves, starting with Greg.
I'm Greg Condon. I'm the Director of IT.
The Director of IT, Greg. I don't know if for those of you who couldn't hear. And then we have...
Hello,
Andrea.
I'm Andrea Palmer. I am the Director of Communications.
Awesome. Thanks, Andrea. And both Greg and Andrea are relatively new to the organization. Andrea started with us in February, and Greg just started with us 3 months ago. And we're very, very lucky to have both of them. So I'll just start reporting on communications. So communications plays a vital role in helping CSFS shape and share its story. We provide unified messages that the board, employees can apply in their daily interactions with families and community members. We provide support to the organization to manage our organizational culture. We help to amplify our unique traits and things about us that make CSFS such a wonderful organization. And we also help to nurture our relationships that matter most with our community members, with our leaders, and with community partners. The overarching goal of the communications team is really to support CSFS staff to abide by our organizational mission, values, and to strengthen our organizational vision. So we accomplish this through a variety of ways. First of all is media monitoring. We do have social media pages on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, and we also share contact messaging and referrals with programs. So when people reach out on any of those social platforms, the communications team gets those messages and connects you with the staff members that you want to talk with from our programs. We also provide issues management, so we manage any media involvement. We help with change management communication. We also help deal with anything that comes up that might incur public interest or have implementation to our profile, etc. We also provide communications outreach, so we help our programs to develop plans and strategies, key messaging. We provide training as required. We develop content. We provide templates for staff members to be able to just kind of self-serve, to be able to pull things off and create posters for the office, invitations, that sort of thing. We also provide brand management, so we really manage very closely how the CSFS logo is used and make sure that when you see something as a poster or something on social media, you'll be able to immediately recognize that it's CSFS. So if that is happening, we have done a good job. We also, of course, provide campaign development. So there's a new campaign that's going to be coming out next week around vaccination and caring for each other from really a carrier values perspective. So watch for that, which will be starting on November 1st. We, of course, make sure that we're doing our own quality assurance to ensure that we're following best practices and the latest research in communications, professional communications, sorry, I'm repeating myself. And then we also do research to ensure that we're following our best practices in the industry. So we create and push digital content. We have our Guzi newsletter. If you are not already subscribed to the newsletter, you can do so by going to our website and signing up. We have on almost, I think, every second page on there, there's an option to sign up. And we do send that newsletter out every 2 months. So we really encourage anyone who has not signed up to please go to our website and sign up. It's one of the best ways to get hot off the press news. We also, of course, do press releases and manage internal communications, which is something that is new. It's been a long-term goal of the organization to improve internal communications. And as of 3 weeks ago, we have Emily, who has joined our team as our internal communications person. We, of course, have our website, our www.csfs.org. We can provide intergovernmental relationship support, so announcements around funding, information sharing, and really anything that involves another organization's communications team. We provide that internally for CSFS to liaise with other organizations. And then last but not least, and this is again also something that's quite new, we have Lydia, who has recently joined the organization, who helps to lead organizational events. And so that's something that's new. She'll be leading committees to do things like the event that we're having today. This event has happened behind the scenes over the last, I'd say, 3 months of a lot of work, and I just want to actually pause here to give a little hats off to my team, who has done an awesome job of putting this event on today. So despite having quite a bit of staff turnover in the past year, we did still accomplish a lot of the goals that we set out from last year. So we have really worked hard to ensure that our visual identity is being used consistently. We have increased our social media reach, Facebook by 5.5%, Twitter by 36%, Instagram by 19%, YouTube by 48%, and our Guzi subscriptions have increased by 7%. We did start some work as well last year on the Intranet Project, and for those of you who don't know what an intranet is, it's basically an internal-facing website which will allow our staff to better coordinate services to be able to provide great services to our community members. So we do have that project all mapped out at this point. We have also taken an inventory of all of the content that we already have existing that we can use for the intranet, and then also have a list developed of materials that we still need to develop in collaboration with our program representatives. So that architecture is now complete. We've also hired a web builder to build that internal facing website for us. And as I mentioned, we've recently hired Emily, who's going to be leading the project. So we're really excited to amp up work on that project and hopefully roll that out within the next 6 months, but for sure within the next year. We also have provided some internal consultation around the services that we provide. So we've put together a package internally to make sure that programs know how we can best support them to do the work that they do. And we've met with about half of our directors at this point to review that document and ask them for input. And then we'll be continuing with the rest of the directors and then with the rest of the staff members soon. And then goals that we have for the up and coming year are really to improve how we communicate in our outreach with community members and other representatives. We also want to increase our social media followers and improve internal communication satisfaction. And a big part of that is going to be completing that intranet project. We also plan to develop and provide media training internally. And we have a new help desk system which is coming soon, probably within the next few months, and it's going to help us to be able to really collect and track data around the services that we provide so that we have a better understanding ourselves, as well as can communicate that to everyone else about exactly how it is that we provide services internally to our programs. And then for information technology, the core business really of information technology, Greg was laughing actually on our way up here because he said, how are you going to make this engaging? So I'm going to do my best. Really, IT is something that people don't think of a lot because we don't really even think about it until it stops working. So really, we've done our job in IT when everyone is connected to the network and the internet, and our equipment is all running well, and we have made improvements to move along with technology. So as technology changes, we are keeping up to date and staying with it so that we can continue to do our work and network however we need to do our jobs. So I am going to skip forward a little bit because I just got voted 10. One of the things that I do want to mention is IT is really, the software world is really moving to a subscription-based system. We used to be able to just buy software and it was ours. But much like what's happened with the music industry, now you can't just go buy your songs off of iTunes for $1.30 anymore. You have to subscribe and give them the $15 a month. Very similar to what's happening in the software world, so that's going to be impacting everyone soon with increasing costs. I'm forecasting to IT. And on that note, by 2025, we won't actually be able to house Outlook email on local servers anymore. It's all going to cloud-based services. So over the past year, we spent a significant amount of time providing remote services to staff working at home. Our help desk requests actually quadrupled because we, of course, with the pandemic, we were helping people connect from all over the place instead of just from the office. We also implemented our VoIP, so that's our telephone system which runs over the intranet in all of our new locations. Also upgraded all of our network sites and did some of the preliminary work around the governance strategy. So we've partnered closely with the research program to start working on an environmental scan of all of the different programs that we have right now and how they're being utilized and how they could be utilized moving ahead. So goals for the upcoming year really are to streamline, like I said, our data management. Greg has been making appointments with a variety of different providers around how we can better manage our internal files so that everyone has the right access to the information that they need. We're also enhancing our disaster recovery procedures, and IT is also implementing a new help desk system. You can see some crossover there. We're all using the same system, but of course communications will have their own and IT will have their own, and it'll just allow us to have better data to measure the services that we're providing and also people's satisfaction with the services that we're providing. We have completed some standard operating procedures and workflows, and those will continue. And that is all for IT. I'll just quickly touch in on Nowh Guna. Thank you, Warner, for your acknowledgement today. It meant a lot to me and the team. It really has been an honor and a privilege to work with Barbie and Diana and Annie, as well as the late Sarah Hine. And Mary spoke a lot about her history with our organization. And I feel really blessed to have worked really closely with Sarah for the last 4 years on the Nowh Guna project. I know that work was really close to her heart, and it's been really difficult for the team. I know that we're all deeply grieving her loss, and it's been difficult to move forward, but we know that Sarah would want us to, and that's what we're doing. So within that Nowh Guna training, I think Warner spoke to it quite a bit, so I'm not going to talk about it too much, but it really is a wonderful program. If anyone is interested in learning more about it, I strongly encourage you to go to the events section on our website at www.csfs.org. All of the information that you need about the training is there, and there's also a link, a form you can download if you're wanting to sign up and join us, and we can share dates as well if you just email us. All of the information is there. And one other thing I'll actually mention about Nowh Guna is that we can do private groups as well. So if there's a bunch of employees at one organization that want to take the training together, we can have discussions about doing online groups of 15 at this time. And so goals from last year, the program, we had a goal to have the program accredited through the College of Family Physicians. That has been accomplished. We also wanted to fully adapt the training to Zoom, which has been done. And our future goals is to expand the training team to include more facilitators and elders, to get some new admin support to help manage the program. It really is a perfect opportunity for someone who wishes to work only part-time, someone maybe who's semi-retired or just looking to get into the field of managing educational programs. So that posting is actually out right now. And that is all I will say about Nowh Guna. And then I'll just close off by reminding everyone that CSFS does have a privacy policy. It is located on our website. If you go to our website and go under the About Us section and just pull down the drop-down menu, you'll see privacy policy. It's something that every single practitioner in our organization is very wary of and very careful with. We all know that all of our clients have rights to ensure that their information is protected and accurate, that they have the right to understand how their information is being used, and that they know who has access. We can also provide anyone with their own personal information that we have on file as per request. So if anyone ever has any desire to have a copy of what information we have about them, or has any concerns about the privacy of their information, please do reach out to privacy@csfs.org. Or you're always welcome to, if you know me, reach out to me directly. My office is at the 987 4th Avenue building in Prince George, so even just feel free to give me a call. And that is all I have. Thank you.
Her staff. So are there questions online? No. And any in person? I think, so one of the things that you mentioned was it was part of your staff that organized the AGA today, and just want to make sure that they're thanked for all their work in gathering us all and all the information and the live stream and food today. And so thank you so much to that team for putting us together today.
Awesome. Thank you.
I think there's a question. Oh, in the back, a question in the back. Don't run away, Marlaena.
Sorry.
Can't run away yet. You mentioned a wonderful newsletter called the Goozy Newsletter. If there are any programs or staff that wanted to guest write for the newsletter or highlight any programs that they're in charge of, how can they do that?
Any staff internal to the organization who wish to contribute to the newsletter, and anyone from community who wishes to contribute to the newsletter is very welcomed to do so. Please reach out to us at communications@csfs.org, and we will be happy to have a conversation with you about it. And thank you, Jordan, the leader of our newsletter, for pointing that out.